I'm going to do. I'm going to take some time out of my day to make some of these presentations for you. Okay, write that down. I'm going to do the presentations for you. You can't believe how much relieved Jerry was from me saying that, okay? She was excited about the business. She wanted to do the business, but yet she had never done anything like this, so she was scared to death, okay? So when I said I would do some of these presentations for her, it was like, wow, he's going to help me out here, okay? Now I said, now why I'm doing these presentations, Jerry, the important thing is you better listen to what I say, because after 4 or 5 of these, I'm going to make you do a part of the presentation on your own. I'll do a part, then you do a part. And then we'll keep doing that until you know how to do it on your own. Once you got somebody signed up, here's what I would personally do, okay? First thing I would do is I would tell my person to write down every single person that they know. Don't think about anything. Write down every single person that they know on a piece of paper or get their telephone book out, okay? Write that down. A lot of people, they come to the meeting here and they see, well, someone's doing flyers, or they're doing the button, or they're doing whatever. Listen, if you're brand new and you're just getting this thing going, don't start with flyers and the button and all that. You know, maybe work that in with why you're working what I'm going to tell you, okay? But first thing you do is make out a list of every single person that you know everywhere in the world, okay? And then you want to contact that person, because if you don't, somebody else will. Now, where can we go to find people? Write this down. Your customers are unbelievable. Your friends. And again, turn to that page number 24 so you can think about all the people that you know, okay? You can run little advertisements in the newspaper, in your booklet right in here, okay? It's got not only the advertisements you can run, but it's got the script of what you say to get them down to the meeting, word for word, what it is that you say, okay? You could carry around your tablet box with you, okay? No question about it. If you're wearing your button and you're carrying your tablet box and you got your briefcase that says Herbalife on it, okay? Will people ask what the heck is in those tablets? If you follow what I say, write this down, you're going to make a minimum of $50,000 this year. That's the least amount of money that you're going to make. The second year, you'll make $125,000, and that's the least amount of money that you're going to make. Now, I'm going to show you the plan. The only thing I can't do for you guys, okay, is I can't get up in the morning and drink your shakes for you, and I can't get up in the morning and take your tablets for you. You got to do that yourselves. I can't wake up in the morning and contact the people for you. You got to do this yourselves. But the great thing is we don't have different products for different people in the company. The products are the same for the president's team as they are for those of you way there in the back of the room. The products are the same. We got the exact same marketing plan. Yes. We got the exact same marketing plan if you're a man or a woman. We take everybody, okay? And so all you got to do is go out and do it and make it happen. It'll happen, trust me. So I guess if I just write on this, it works, okay? Now look at, here's what we do. We're going to go out, we're going to talk to 10 people a day about the product. 10 people a day about the product. And let's say you only work 22 days. Now, by the way, when you talk to these 10 people about the product, this is not someone who says, what's the story on your button? And you go, well, let me tell you about it, and they run away. Is that one of your 10? No. This is someone you go all the way through. It works like crazy. You're not going to believe it. It's nutrition, 2 shakes a day, tablets 3 times a day, pictures, pictures, pictures. Give me the money. and they say either yes or no. Once they said yes or no, you can write them down as one of your 10. So everybody got this concept? 10 a day, okay? Now let's say you only do that 22 days. That's 220 people that you've talked to during the month. Let's say that you're just starting out and you're all nervous and you just bomb at the deal, okay? At least 50 people are going to buy the product. Most people, hands up, you get the whole presentation out, show your before and after pictures and all that stuff, and they're listening. Usually half the people buy the product or a third. Hands up. So you can see this is what happens usually. I'm saying, what if only 1 out of 5 buy the product? 1 out of 5. You're real scared, and all you can do is just stand there with your little leaflet and go. One out of 5. Now the average sale is like $100. So that's $5,000 in business. At 50%, that's $2,500 that you're going to make. Times 12 months, you're already making $30,000 a year just selling the products, okay? Now, we're not going to talk to you about all the upgrading of all the other products that you're going to sell them and all the new products and all the products that the relatives are going to want to have and all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about the least amount of money you guys can possibly make doing this plan, okay? So that it's really realistic for everybody. Now, you can talk to 20 people a day if you want to and make $60,000 a year, but I don't suggest doing that unless most of the recruiting that you're doing is coming from your customers. Because you still must have a certain amount of time during the day to talk to people about the business so that you can get more money by getting more people. So you can only make so much money with your own 2 lips. The way you can make lots of money is by having your 2 lips do some of the talking and having lots of people doing lots of talking. So we have to have at least some time to talk to people about the business. Okay? So if you're getting all your persons from selling the products, great. But if not, you've got to leave some time in order to talk to people about the business. By the way, does this seem reasonable to everybody? Now, this is very important concept. Okay, very important concept. If you only talk to 8 people today, how many people do you have to talk to tomorrow? 12. Write that down. If you only talk to 8 people the next day, how many do you have to talk to? Okay, 14. Okay, you only talk to 8 the next day, 16. Okay, so you got to keep up. Okay, you got to keep up. All right, we had all of our guys in the beginning on this, Jerry, Doug, everybody, right? And this made us rich by doing this. Okay, simple concept, simple deal, but it was a way of keeping track of ourselves so that we could keep going and keep making things happen. Now,
who was paying attention to what he said? What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Sunday call, gang time call. Jorge, I like the lineup, bro. You looking very loco-ish, bro. What up, you guys? Jerry Cooper, active world team member. Super excited about what's going on today. Super excited about what's going on this year. Super excited about what's going on for the rest of life, right? So if you heard what he said right there, he said the least amount of money, right? If you talk to 10 people a day about the products only, if you talk to 10 people a day about the products only, and 1 out of 10 buy, and if you do that all year, you'll make $30,000 selling the products only. Raise your hand if you can use $30,000 extra this year. Listen, selling the products, Tony raised hand. Nice, thanks. I like that you raised your hand through the app. Awesome. $30,000 selling the products only. That's not wholesale checks. That's not retail, or that's not royalties. That's not bonuses. That's just you talking to people and you making $30,000 hand to hand. That's amazing, right? Now just imagine if you could sponsor a team and your team makes $30,000 part-time. Imagine what your check would be like. If you had a downline member right now that made $30,000 doing Herbalife, somebody that you sponsor personally, your front line, 5% of 30,000, what is that? Somebody, I need to figure that out. I don't know. Depending on your level, we just talking about basic level now. Let me get to the calculator real quick. Times what the point though? So you get in royalties, you can make $1,500 just by somebody making $30,000 just in royalties. So just by presenting somebody the opportunity, you can make $1,500 just by that person making money, right? And that's at the base level with 5%. That doesn't include your 2% bonus at Get Team. That doesn't include your 4% bonus at Millionaire Team or your 6% bonus as a President's Team member, right? So that's amazing. But anyway, long story short, Jerry Cooper, active Royal Team member, been in the business about 5 years now, and I remember when I finally understood what was going on in Herbalife. I remember when it was like, yo, I understand how to do this business. I understand the structure. I understand the purpose of retail. I understand the purpose of signing people up. I understand about talking to people this way in this market, in this way in this market, and I understand about royalties and retail and wholesale and everything like that, and I understand how to move faster in this business, right? What made me understand this, my friends? I will tell you what it was. It was one of my favorite events of the year. We have it quarterly every year, and the name of that event is LDW, right? Raise your hand if you've been to LDW. Let me look on this call. Only 2 people on this call, right? So if you haven't been to LDW, it's either because you're new, if you haven't qualified yet, or you just recently signed up and haven't been around that long. LDW is one of my favorite events, and I remember when I first got serious about doing the business right, it was in January, right? So from January to April, I qualified as supervisor. So back then, there wasn't no pilot program. It wasn't you could do 2,000 volume points in 2 months and you could become a supervisor. It was you got to do 5K to become a supervisor, right? So at the time, I didn't know about team members. I didn't know about signing people up. I didn't know about that. All I knew was that I could sell more products and make more money and get a higher discount. So between January and April, I sold $5,000 personally myself, and I became a supervisor the day before LDW, right? So check this out. The day before, it was really the night before, I qualified as a supervisor. So in Herbalife world, they think you know what you're doing if you become a supervisor, right? Pretty much, if you're a supervisor, you know how to retail, you know how to sponsor some people, you've probably been to some events, whatever, right? That's what the typical Herbalife lens would assume that was you, right? For me, that wasn't the reality. I was just super fired up about selling the products. I didn't know nothing about anything. I just knew that if I sell a product, I'll make more money, lower or higher discount, right? So when I go to this event, they expect you to have a certain mindset. They expect you to know a certain thing. You know, when you go to supervisor school, they expect you to know certain stuff, right? I didn't know anything. So for me, being a kid from East Oakland, 22 years old, to walk into a room where they're talking about generational change, to walk into a room where they're talking about life-changing opportunities, traveling the world, inspiring people, making a huge amount of money, creating impact, creating legacy. These were things that I've never heard before, right? So I was ignorance on fire all the way up until LDW. When I came out of LDW, I was ignorance on fire with structure now, which then allowed me to know what I was doing inside of being in action. Because you can definitely be in action and not know what you're doing, right? Do you guys agree? But then you can definitely be in action with a plan, with structure, to now you know what will happen when you do these certain things. You know the goal, right? So the reason why I say that is because LDW is a little bit more advanced than STS, right? They don't talk too much about basics. They talk more about leadership, and they talk more about future mindset and what it could be like if you do these things, right? Leadership Development Weekend. That's what LDW stands for. So you got to qualify to get there. Does anybody know the qualifications to go to LDW if you're not a supervisor already? Carlos, go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
1,000 volume points.
1,000 documented volume points. Yes, sir. You are correct. Now you have the opportunity to qualify for this. Raise your hand if you already qualified for LDW. Amanda, Carlos, that's it. That raised your hand on this call. And anybody that was watching this call in the future that has qualified. So if you haven't qualified, we have between tonight, and April, what is our LDW? April 15th, something like that. 5th? Is that weekend? Somebody correct me. What weekend is it? April 5th?
The second weekend.
The second weekend in April. Let me see real quick. The second, so the 12th, 13th, and 14th. That is, so between now and the 13th, you guys have to do 1,000 volume points to qualify if you're not already a supervisor, right? So we'll figure out a plan for you. If Jorge, what's up?
But between what dates do you have to get 1,000 points?
You can do it between now and all the way up until the day LDW starts. So
No,
for World Teaming Up,
but
huh?
No, but is it only from now, or does last month count?
It's from January up until now, up until the day LDW starts. So January 1st, thank you. January 1st, all the way up until April 13th. If you're not, obviously for everybody else, April 13th, right? 1,000 documented volume points. So if you know how to look at your documented volume, you go in and you'll check the progress of what you've done all year, and then you can subtract that to see how much you got to do between this month and next month, right? It's the beginning of the month. It's March. So don't even worry about it. Just know that get your goals done for March. If you get your goals done for March, inside of that, more than likely you should qualify for LDW, right? But so we just had STS this last weekend. Well, it was the first weekend of March. Sacramento had STS with millionaire team member Roger Brown from El Paso, Texas. And he was actually the frontline member of somebody who did our LDW last year, Matt Rushbrook, 15K presidency member Matt Rushbrook. So I kind of already, once I knew that he was sponsored by him, I kind of already knew the flow and what he would talk. But I was actually surprised about some of the things that he said. So for I know Amanda went to STS, Raina went to STS, Carlos went to STS. Do you guys have any takeaways that you guys want to share from the event? Just go ahead and unmute yourselves.
All right, I got to go. I mean, I'm sure like everyone's probably gonna talk about them 5 questions, but like that shit really was really tight because like it's real easy to get unfocused. Like you be chilling, you know, you get a couple sales, you get juice, and then you're like, oh man, I'm chilling. Like I got a couple sales, I'm good to go. But it's like if you just stick to these same questions and figure everything out, it'll be cool. Like the first question was, what do you want? You know, obviously, what do you want out of life? What does your perfect life look like? We talk about it all the time. The second question was like, how bad do you want it? Like, does it keep you up at night? Do you like? Is it all you think about? Is it? And then it says number 3 was, what are you willing to give up? And it goes back to JKO when Soup was talking about how he didn't watch the NBA Finals one year, so the next year he could go. It's like, what are you willing to give up? Or are you willing to stop watching TV so you can be out talking to people when you're watching TV? Or, Coop was trying to get on me, talk about people revolve their whole Sunday around a 2:00 game. The 4th question was, what are your obligations? Like, what do you got to take care of? What do you need this money for? Well, you got your kids, you got your family, you got your house, you got everything you got to pay for, you got stuff you got to do. And then what are you willing to do to get there? It's like, are you willing to go out every day and talk to 20, 30, 40, 50 people? Are you willing to go to every nutrition club and ask them questions about what they're doing, willing to talk to everybody and anybody? Like, what are you trying to do? And yeah.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for your share. Those questions, so basically all those questions were very provoking questions, right? For somebody that says, oh, I want to go president's team, or I want to, whatever, I want to change my life, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be president's team. It doesn't necessarily have to be something like that. But if you're saying, hey, I want to change my life, right? These questions are something that you might want to ask yourself to test if you really, truly want what you say. If you say you want to change your life, like Carlos said, that was what he said on stage. Roger Brown said, if you say you want to change your life, how can you be serious about that, but you're planning your Sunday around a football game, let alone you're planning the whole day around a 2:00 game. From the time you wake up, even before you go to bed, you're worried about the game, right? It's like you're not serious about changing your life because you're watching what he said. You're watching other people be great at what they do rather than you being great at what you do. And you know how it be at events. Everybody be like, When somebody say a bar, they be like, this is what I notice about STS right now, right? People be like, whenever somebody says something that like a good analogy or a good bar, they be like, the whole crowd be like, like this is the face that they make, right? And that was one of those times where even me, I was all like, ooh, that was a little touchy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you watching other people be great at what they do rather than you being great at what you do. I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do watch my occasional NBA game here and there, and I'm just like, yeah, I can stop watching the game so I can go to the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely a great question and a great thought to put out there. Does anybody else want to go from the event yesterday? Go ahead and share, unmute yourself.
Okay, I'll go. I wrote down exactly what he said. He said, it's 100% your choice to get where you want to be and to go after what you want. And no one else can get you there but yourself. And just because you felt like you've been defeated or knocked down a couple times, that doesn't give you the right to quit. You have to go through certain things to get what you want, and you don't get to go around the hard stuff. You have to keep going no matter what. And your success journey is a narrow path. And as you keep walking through that path, you're going to see all these corpses on the ground and all these other people giving up that stopped there. So as you're going on your journey, you're going to see a lot of people that quit, all these people that gave up, all these people that stopped, all these people that cried and didn't go towards the goals and didn't reach their dream. So, and so basically, like, the choice is completely up to you to keep going and to keep going through that narrow path until you get there. That's what I got.
Yeah, that was also a good one too. Narrow is a narrow and long path on your way to greatness, on your journey, and you're going to see corpses on the way there. And it's like, damn, like all the people, like, dog, it's going to be a lot of people that was talking mess about you, that didn't believe in you, that are mad that you're going after their dreams because they didn't have enough in it to go after their own. And they're going to try and pull you down. They're going to try and bring you back because they want you to stay in the same lane that they're in, which is the lane of mediocrity, right? We don't want to stay in that lane, so you're going to see a lot of people on your way. Like, you're going to see their bodies on the way. It's going to be a lot of body bags on the way. of you being great. You got to stay focused on the goal. You know what they talk about, tunnel vision, right? Blinders on. You're not seeing all the outside noise. That's kind of how I took that, right? Like, stay focused on the goal. Forget what everybody else talking about. Block out all that negative noise, right? Only keep the people around you that's going to uplift you, not pull you down. That was one of the things that I got from that. Does anybody else want to go from the event yesterday that was there? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll go ahead and go, man. Like
Andrew,
yeah, what's good? What's good?
Went to
What's
this
good?
first event.
Yeah, no, it's good. So, the one of the things I got, like, I think the most powerful thing, like, was the last thing he did, and it pretty much had to do with, you know, you had to close your eyes and see yourself like 5 years from now, and you got to like picture all the hard work that you got to go through and whatnot to get there. And I feel like if you wake up, like, you know, every day having that passion, having that just desire to get out and be where you want to be in the future, that's like the key thing to really, you know, having that success is just that persistency, you know what I mean? So that was huge for me, if anything. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, that was super dope because at the end of the day, guys, being consistent, the consistency part is probably, like, in my opinion and what I've seen with people, is that there's a few things that's kind of hard. I take that back. It's not hard, but it's a little bit more difficult, right? In my opinion, the consistency part, being consistently consistent, is a little challenging. You know, sometimes it's a little challenging to be consistently consistent. That part, and I believe that the belief part for a lot of people may be a little more difficult to grasp, because some people, like he was saying, going into my own share, right? Or Raina, do you want to go before I go into my own share? I know that you was at the event. Do you want to go? 3, 2, 1. 0.5.25. Okay, cool. So going into my own share, he was making it a point to say, like, yo, like, you deserve to live the life that you want, right? And that was a major point, because it was like he was saying, and I didn't necessarily feel like this, but I understand, is that he was saying that before Herbalife, success and his name, Roger Brown, didn't necessarily go in the same sentence. He said that he didn't necessarily believe that he deserved to be successful, that success was for everybody, right? That he could become his own man, he could become an entrepreneur, he could change his life. He thought that living life in the way that he was brought up, he said that he was and this is super funny when he said that, he's like, oh, I was a minority. Mind you, Roger Brown is a tall white guy, right? And he was saying that he was a minority in his neighborhood because it was mostly African Americans and Latinos in his neighborhood. So he was saying, me as a white guy was a minority in his hood. So he was saying he was a target. He was getting beat up because he was a white guy at school or in his neighborhood, right? And so he said he thought that was normal, and he thought that it wasn't available to him to be successful, that to live on the west side of the mountain in El Paso, where the sun shines, where the sun sets, and everything like that, and the nice houses, that he wasn't allowed to go over there, that he didn't belong over there, right? And now I kind of understand that, because growing up in East Oakland, you know, you see certain things to where you believe that's the only thing that's out there, right? And I never forget, kind of going off topic, I remember when I moved to Manteca, and I'm like, there's houses like this? Like, there's other people that I'm used to seeing? Like, I'm used to only seeing people like me, you know what I'm saying? So I was like shocked when I actually moved to a nicer area, and I'm like, yo, I didn't even know this existed. What's going on? So I understand when he said that part, so I felt that. But this is the thing. We all deserve to be successful. We all deserve to be able to change our life if that's what we want to do, right? But this is the thing. None of us here are rich. None of us had parents that were none of us was born into money like that, obviously, right? Because if you was, we wouldn't be trying to change our lives and go to president's team and be entrepreneurs like we are, right? We would just be balling out of control, taking trips to Dubai right now, right? But we not. So check it out. We got to build our wealth. We got to build our life. We got to build our success, right? And what are the things that we learned? What are some of the things that we know helps build success within this business? And I'm going to tell you what it is, right? It's events and the basics. The basics for sure, right? Does everybody know what to do with a brand new client, right? Raise your hand if you know what to do with a brand new client. Raise your hand if you know what to do. Or if you do not know what to, actually a better question is, if you do not know what to do with a brand new client, raise your hand if you do not know. Lowe's, well, that was kind of like, that's what, did y'all peep that? He kind of was like, yo, check it out. Let's be clear, right? There's don't never be ashamed to say, oh, I don't know, or that's me, right? Because it's like, if you don't say that you don't know, then I'm going to assume that you know, right? And then if I assume that you know, when we have certain conversations and you tell me certain things like, not specifically you, Los, but anybody, if you tell me like, oh, I didn't know qualified or I didn't know senior consultant was 500 volume points, I'm about to be like, what do you mean you didn't know? Because you didn't tell me that you didn't know. You see what I'm saying? Certain things I think that are basics that people should know, but if you don't tell me you know the basics, then I won't know, right? So I understand Andrew's new. I understand that Los is still getting going, right? And I understand that people aren't necessarily all the way seasoned yet, right? And this is the thing, guys. The basics, you're going to repeat the basics all the time. Like, that's the thing you guys got to get clear too, is because when you sign up new people, like the things that I'm telling Amanda from the times that when we first started till now, she's going to hear me say it 10,000 more times to the brand new person. The same thing, right? You're going to be continuously saying the same thing to your brand new person and even your seasoned people, just because that's what it is, right? You're always teaching the basics to everybody. So get used to saying the basics. So I'll say it. When you get a brand new client, right? So, okay, even when I say before you get a brand new client, do we all know how to get a client? Or who doesn't know how to get a client? Raise your hand. Right. Okay, cool. For sure. We all know how to get a client. So when you get that client, are we sending them? Yes, the fundamentals. Yes, you got to be able to dribble like this before you do Kyrie, before you're James Harden. You see what I'm saying? Yes, you got to learn how to just bounce it with your right hand and your left hand first. Yes, you got to know the basics first before you try to go crazy with it, right? So when you get that client, how do we set that person up, right? So obviously we ask them a wellness profile. A wellness profile is obviously the questions that we're qualifying them to see what their goals are, what they want to do, and what their diet is like and their fitness is like. Basically assessing that person to figure out what products work best for them, right? That's a wellness profile. If you guys want to know the wellness profile, I will, and it's different versions of it, obviously. I will post that, not right now, but I'll post it in the chat before we leave, or tonight, right? But so we get that client, right, and we set them up. So do we know what we're sending them as far as, okay, does anybody say, okay, before I even say that, when somebody says, yo, Jerry or whoever, I only got $100, right? What products are you going to give them for $100 for the basic program? Somebody, just unmute yourself. Basic. They say, I got $100.
Shake tea aloe.
Oh, right now. Oh, with the quick answer, though. So, awesome. Right, $100. Unfortunately, my dear, a shake tea aloe is not necessarily $100 worth, but you could definitely give them a shake and protein, right? If they want the tea, you got to tell them like, yo, I need about like $20 more, $30 more, right? Depending on what size tee they're going to get. But definitely for $100, if somebody's like, yo, I only got 100, whatever. Somebody says, yo, I only got 75, 80, be like, yo, can you do 100? Because then you can give them the protein and the shake, which is 73 volume points, right? Actually, let me show you guys something. Visual, guys, so you guys can see this real quick. Right. Real quick. All right, cool. So basically, 100 volume points, right, is basically pretty much around one shake, one Formula One shake, one protein, and one multivitamin. This is basically, it's not necessarily exactly 100 points. This is maybe around like 95-ish, something like that. But basically, we can look at it like this. If we can get 5 people to get this from us, shake, protein, or protein, shake, and a multivitamin. If we can get 5 people to buy this, that's about 500 volume points. This is about 100 volume points visually, right? So when somebody says senior consultant, 500 volume points, 5 people to get that program. How many of you guys can get 5 people to buy that right there? Right. That's 500 volume points right there. Now that you see that it's visually 500 volume points, because when you talk to your brand new person, they might, when you say 500, they might look at it like, oh, that's a lot of money. That's a lot in sales. Like for somebody that's not necessarily in sales, that might be intimidating just because you're saying the word 500. But if you can show them physically, yo, 5 people to do this is about $100 or about 120, something like that. That's a lot more simpler to say, yo, you know about 5 people that can use this, right? So that's what you'll do for your brand new person that says, oh, I got $100, right? So when you send them that email, everybody has the email that you'll send somebody to get them started in their program, right? For weight loss, weight gain, and that's pretty much it. And specifically, if you guys have somebody that's like, oh, I want to tone up and things like that, the little minute things, obviously you can ask me and I could tailor it for you to help that out. But everybody basically has the weight loss, weight gain program, right? No? All right. So if you guys do not have the weight, okay, so what programs do you guys have? That's actually the question, because this is something that I needed to get figured out, that we all need to be marching to the same beat, right? So now, in fact, what I'll do is that I'll post all of the programs in the chat, right? And I'll post it and I'll say, this is this, right? So you guys can go in and get it and save it as such, right? Weight loss, weight gain for men, women, and everything like that. I'll send them all and I'll specifically put them. And that's what we'll send people. And mind you, yes, it's not macro tailored, obviously, because you can't have a macro tailored just list. You know what I'm saying? But it's tailored in such a way that you can tweak it to this person, or you can just send it to them like that. And, you know, it's very flexible as far as how to work it. It has a list of foods and things like that, right? So that's what I'll do for that. Does everybody have a follow-up schedule with their clients? When I get new distributor handbook done, they'll be in there as well. Yes, awesome. Yes, Bridget will have all that good stuff in there as well. So does everybody have a follow-up schedule? Or do you know about who doesn't know about a follow-up schedule? Raise your hand if you do not know about a follow-up schedule. Okay. So a follow-up schedule, right? So basically this is it, guys. You don't want to sell somebody products. Say they bought products March 1st and they get their products on Monday, right? Tuesday, whatever. And if you don't talk to that person between March 4th and March 30th, and you're like, yo, it's time for you to order some new products. It's like, dog, you didn't follow with that person at all. You don't know if they know how to use the products. You don't know if they like it. You don't know if they get results. You don't know nothing. You just like, yo, buy some more shit, right? That's not, and let me tell you, disclaimer, I have done that before. When I first started, I didn't know about following up. But because you guys know, I'm telling you now, pennies in the sale, fortune in the follow-up, right? I've had clients, I still got a good handful of clients from when I first started Herbalife, because one, I got them results because I was just being a good coach, but two, because I follow up with them, right? What is my follow-up schedule, right? So for some people in Herbalife does have a follow-up schedule already, and it goes the first day, third day, 7th day, 14th day, something like that. That's what it goes. I don't believe in that because I believe that's too much time in between me talking to my clients, right? Me personally, I follow up with my people Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's personally when I follow up with them 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I'm setting my week up purposely. So for example, right? So tomorrow I'll send my clients a text around in between my break at work or whatever. So I'll try to make sure I text all my people in the morning time, right? I don't want to be talking to them in the afternoon, or obviously I want the conversations to bleed over into the afternoon, but I don't want to start hitting them up in the afternoon, right? I want to be one of the first things on their mind when they start their week off, right? So I message them around like 9-ish, 10-ish, something like that. Hey, it might be something motivational or whatever, or it might just be like, what's up? Right now, because of the rapport that I built previously, what I'll do is I'll ask them about, yo, what did you do this weekend? Or I'll follow up with them about what they told me they were going to do because I followed with them on Friday, right? But let's just pretend it's your first couple clients and it's your first time following up with them Monday. Okay, awesome. Set them up with something powerful to set them up for the week. How's everything going? And disclaimer, you don't have to talk about Herbalife every time you follow up with them. That's very key. You don't have to say, oh, what's up with your products? What's up with you feel me? They know, obviously you're their coach. You know what I'm saying? So you don't need to talk about Herbalife every time you follow up with them. But just hit them up. Oh, like I said, you're setting up for the week. So it's Monday. Hey, what's going on? I hope everything's going well for you. It's about to be a powerful week. Let's get it. What's your week looking like? Boom, right? And when you send the text out to your clients, when you start to have multiple clients, they're not all going to reply back at the same time. It's going to start to bleed over. So I spend a majority of Monday talking to them throughout the day, right? And there's that. Tuesday, I don't talk to them. Wednesday, I follow with them. Hey, what's popping? Now I might specifically ask them about Herbalife. Specifically, like, yo, how's your results going? XYZ. How did you make your shake? How did you make your shake? Not how did you like it? How did you make it? Because if you make it a certain way, I know that you're doing it correctly. And I know if you're doing it correctly, I know that you're going to like it, right? So how did you make your shake? How did you like the workout that I sent you? XYZ. How's your body feeling? Things like that, right? Just general questions about what's going on with them. Friday comes. So I don't talk to them Thursday. Boom. Friday comes. Hey, what's up? It's been a killer week. I hope everything went well for you. Yada, yada, yada. What you doing this weekend? Right? So now I don't talk to them Saturday, Sunday. Now when I follow up again, Monday, I'm asking them about, like, yo, how was it when you took your kids to Disneyland? XYZ, right? So because you build that relationship with your clients, they're going to stay with you forever no matter what. You see what I'm saying? Because you're becoming their friend. And not like I'm saying you're going to be best friends. Like, that's what I'm not saying that you have to be best friends with your clients. I'm not saying that. But you do want to have to build a relationship. Like, listen, with your barber, I don't know about you guys. I got a relationship with my barber, okay? I got a relationship. He ain't my best friend necessarily, but if I see my barber out, it's love. What's good, bro? You feel me? What's popping? You see what I'm saying? We got to have a relationship. With your hairstylist, ladies, I know y'all got a relationship with, or your nail lady, y'all got a relationship. You see what I'm saying? So you want to have a relationship with your clients for sure. You ain't going to be best friends. You got to know about every single detail about their life, but I guarantee the more you know about them, the longer they'll stay with you. I want my clients to stay with me for life. For life. I don't need you going to another coach. I don't need you saying, you know, I don't want to do Herbalife no more. I don't need that. What I do need you to do is purchase your product every month. What I do need you to do is continuously get new results. What I do need you to do is continuously being a poster board for everything that's possible. So when people ask you about your weight loss, you think of me and refer them to what you did with me, right? That's what you want to do. So if you're going to do that, you need to be a better coach, more in tune with your clients, right? So that's what I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Also, some things that I do is that obviously on the programs, right, for the basic program, there's that workout plan on there, right? Sometimes I'll just be sending workouts to my clients like, yo, here you go, just throwing them stuff, right? Like, just think if you had a coach. Now, just imagine, right? If you had a coach, if you was doing Herbalife, right? Well, obviously we are doing Herbalife, but if you were a client specifically getting help from somebody, right? And they sent you a workout plan, they sent you the meal plan, grocery list, all that good stuff, right? And they say, awesome, you're going to get results if you do this, this, this. They're following up with you Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And, you know, you feeling good. You feeling like this person is here for me. And they just now on top of it, they just throwing you gems. They just throwing you workouts. Here, just do this today. I know your workout plan said this, but here you go. Here you go, do that, right? Now, just the thing, when you send it to them, they have it forever. It's not like they're just lose it, right? Hopefully they don't just lose it. But now you're throwing them that. So now you're giving them a gang more value over time. Now I'm not sending them workouts every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I might send it to them once a week. This week I might not send you nothing. But it's just that me personally, because I have so many workouts in my phone and things like that, different little recipes or whatever, I'm just sending it over, right? Boom. And this is the thing. I don't know if you guys knew this. On your Herbalife website, there's a gang of ways and a gang of recipes that you can make different shakes with. Did you guys know that? Outside of flavors, I'm going to tell you guys, there's outside of the actual flavors that we have, Herbalife has a list of different ingredients and recipes that you can create different flavors with using different shakes and obviously outside things that aren't the shakes, right? It's like apple caramel pie flavor, you know, a bunch of stuff. I don't know, right? But it's on there. So go play with your My Herbalife and figure out where that's at. Because obviously, if you guys read it, when you set up your Go Herbalife, I don't know if you guys read this part, but there's a part in there that says shake recipes or whatever. Like, remember where it says just allow everything? I don't want to be super vague here, but there's a part in the email when you're setting up your website where it says, do you want to allow everything, the Herbalife stories, the videos, the recipes, and things like that? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? If not, I'll show you guys. But there's a part on there that says shake recipes and healthy recipes. If you actually click on that on your Go Herbalife site, so not in your My Herbalife, but your personal Go Herbalife, if you click on there, there's a stupid gang of recipes on there that you can actually use yourself and actually send to your clients, because I guarantee your clients don't know that's there. If y'all didn't know it was there, I guarantee your clients don't know it's there, right? So play with your Herbalife. I'll actually do a screen recording later, and I'll send it in the chat to where you guys can see that. So there's a gang of stuff like that. And like I'm saying, following up your people and just making sure that you're there for them. And they're going to ask you questions, and like I'm saying, you don't have to talk about Herbalife every time. For your new distributors now, do you guys know how to set up your new distributors? Raise your hand if you do not know how to set up your new distributors. Actually, that's a better question. Awesome. Everybody. Oh, Andrew. Okay, cool. Dope. So, Andrew, this is what you'll do when you set up your new distributor, right? Bridget is currently working on the playbook PDF. Bridget is currently working on it right now, which is basically the email that is already within our works right now, but it's just going to be a little bit more interactive and a little bit more a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, and it's just going to have a little bit more information in it, right? So when you sign up for your new distributor, right, you talk to that person, they say, yes, I want to do what you do. Yes, I want to sign up with Herbalife. Yes, I'm ready to pay the $100 to become a member, right? What do you do with that person? Boom. Okay. What you do with that person is you send them currently today, right? You'll send them that starter email that says, welcome to the squad. Does everybody raise your hand if you have that email? Welcome to the squad that says, do your required distributor training, write your people down, set up your website, things like that. Raise your hand if you have that email. Tango, you have that email if Andrew has that email. So, yes, that is the email that you'll send somebody. And this is the thing. It says in the listen, it says in there, it says when you're writing those names down, XYZ, make sure you write everybody down. And before it goes to the next section, it says in bold, underlined. 90% of people will not do this part and wonder why they're not as successful as they thought they will be. It's underlined and in bold that says, write everybody down that you know that can possibly benefit from using the products or people that you think will be good in the business just like you. And I promise, whenever you ask somebody that, yo, did you do that part? No. Yo, did you see the part where it says 90% of people won't do it? Yeah. And then people wonder why they're not going at all. And then people wonder why they're not doing volume out the gate, right? It's like, dog, I'm telling you, because I wrote that. And I'm telling you guys, if you don't do this, you're going to be stuck and you're going to be like, yo, because listen, that's what my sponsor did with me, right? Like I'm saying, I wasn't coachable. And I didn't write the list down at first. And I was just like, man, I ran out of people because I'm just going off the top of my head, right? Until I finally actually wrote it down. And I thought about so many people because I wrote it down. I'm like, yo. And at the end of the list, I had about, not necessarily 100, but I had about like 70 names, right? Something like that. And it was like, I would have never had them 70 names if I wouldn't have wrote it down. And that's why I'm like, yo, you have to write this down no matter what. You have to. It doesn't matter who you are. So 90% of people won't do this. It's true. 90% of people won't because I asked somebody on the team I asked one of the newer people on the team. I said, yo, did you do it? They was like almost ashamed to say, no, they didn't do it. And I'm like, bro, it's cool. Like, I'm never mad at nobody for not doing it because I'm letting you know off the rip that if you don't do this, you're not going to be successful. It don't hurt me. It's going to hurt you. I'm going to make the money regardless. I'm going to have my clients regardless. Will you have your clients? That's the question, right? I'm never mad. All I can do is encourage and inspire, right? So you get that person started with that email. They do their required distributor training, right? So if that person does their required distributor training and they read that email and they do certain things, right? If they do everything that's there, they should have a pretty much good idea of what to get started with. The next thing that's possible for that person, bring them to an event, right? Which goes back to what I was saying earlier. Events is dude, super, 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 super key, right? And I'm gonna tell you what, for a person like me that's been going to events for a while now, sometimes I don't want to go to events, truly. Sometimes I don't want to. But this is the thing. I understand that I must go because it's a standard inside of me being great. It's a standard inside of being a president's team member. It's a standard inside of being the leader of an organization and to build other leaders. Because I'm going to tell you guys what. If I said to you guys, you know what? No, I'm not going to the event. Like, I'm cool. Like, I just don't want to go. How many of you guys, you don't have to answer this actually, in your mind would discredit the value of the event if I was like, yo, I'm not going to go just because I don't feel like going? Like, what do you mean you're not going to go, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a standard to go if you're serious about doing this, right? And a lot of the times when I go to these events, I be hearing something that I needed to hear by going to the event, right? It's not necessarily something like, okay, like for me, it's like, okay, I know the marketing plan. I know about what's possible. It's not necessarily the inspiration part, but there might be something that the speaker might say that I need to hear at this point in my life today, right? Or something that you guys might hear that you'll need to get you going, right? That's going to be like, yo, that makes sense finally. But this is the thing. And this is the secret, right? I'm going to tell you guys, this is the secret to it all. You guys don't need to hear that part. You guys don't need to hear it. All you got to do is make the decision to be hungry about it, right? Because I'm going to tell you guys what. It was a decision for me personally before I went to my first event, LDW, that I was like, yo, I'm going to do this business and I'm going to make money with it, right? It was a decision. I didn't go to no event. I didn't know about none of this stuff. But I was like, yo, I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of looking like this. So I'm going to make the decision to go out here and give it my all. At the time, that was my all about selling these products, right? So you don't need to hear the inspirational quote. You don't always need to hear the analogy that makes sense. Sometimes you just got to get socked in the face and be like, yo, you know what? I'm tired of living like this. Let me do something different, right? Because the thing was, this is the thing that Roger Brown said that, and I was like, yo, that this is the thing that I needed to hear, right? Is that you guys got to recognize the opportunity that's in front of you. And I was like, yeah, duh. The opportunity in front of us is monumental. This is the average. Listen, not saying that any of us are on this call is average, but Herbalife is the best opportunity for the average person to create an extraordinary life, right? I'm not going to the NBA. I understand that at this point in my life. I'm not going to play professional sports, none of that shit. I'm not going to be a lawyer. I'm not going back to school to get my degree. I'm not doing none of that, right? I'm not doing that. But what I am going to do is create a huge monumental business inside of this platform that's going to take me to the next level. That's what I have, right? That's what's in front of us, in front of me, and that's what's in front of all of us. This is the thing, right? If your goal is a president's team, if your goal isn't that, that's awesome. You have the ability to create whatever you want inside of this opportunity that you see fit for your life, right? It doesn't have to be, oh, I want to make this amount of money. It could be like, yo, I want to help this amount of people. I want to help 1,000 people, right? If you help 1,000 people, you're going to in turn make some money, right? Or it could be like, yo, or you can have the money attachment like, yo, I want to make $10,000 a month, right? If that's the goal, that's fine, because obviously with $10,000 a month, you'll be able to have a lifestyle that a lot of people don't have. You know what I'm saying? A consistent $10,000 a month. And the thing is, it's just the decision that says, yeah, this is what I want. And it's the realization that you have a platform that's available to you, because there is no such thing as I'm stuck. There is no such thing as I don't know. It's like, you know what to do. It's just doing it more over a longer amount of time. Just consistently being in action, consistently talking to people, consistently showing up, right? Because this is the thing. We all see this, what's going on right here, melanated skin popping, right? Right? We all see what's going on like this, right? But this is the thing. I don't have a halo around my head. I'm not hovering. I'm not covered in gold skin. I don't have gold flakes. Neither does anybody else, right? My point in saying that is nobody else is special on this call, more special than anybody else. But they made a different decision than other people. The decision is different. Nobody else is special. The mindset is different. How they operate is different. How they wake up is different. Different choices for different people create different results. I think that was a bar, guys. I think that was a bar. Nobody's special, but the choices are different, right? That's the part that creates president's team members or just supervisors. Different choices, consistent choices, right? If I said that, yo, if I told you that you have to stay at it for a year, no matter what, don't get distracted, don't get sidetracked for a year, you'll be a president's team member, right? If that was guaranteed, how many people would do it? I would. If they was like, yo, every day you got to be on your shit no matter what. And if you do it for 365 days out of the year, starting from today, March 3rd, 2020, you'll be a president's team member. Everybody on this call would pretty much do it if that's your goal, or if it was guaranteed. And this is the thing. It's not guaranteed, but it's pretty much guaranteed if you stay consistent. And that's the thing, because the reality of it is, it's there. It's already yours. We just got to go out there and grab it. If you can, like I said, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What you see is what's the reality. So if you see the reality of what's yours, all you got to do is go out there and grab it. All you got to do is take the steps necessary between here and there. Point A to point B is what you do in between the points, right? If you consistently stay in action, or you just kind of show up sometimes. If you kind of show up sometimes, the point B gets extended out farther. And that's the thing that I'm realizing is that, yo, if you play around for this amount of time, your goal gets pushed out a little bit farther. And I'm like, dog, I can't keep walking farther. I can't keep chasing after it like that. Like, I can't keep getting farther. You got to keep getting closer. So I got to make better decisions, right? I got to make better decisions. I got to make better choices. I got to show up a certain way. I got to show up how I see myself in the next year, 2 years, right? And that's the reality of it, if that's what you want. But if that's not what you want, if you want to make a few $100s a month, that is 1,000% fine. 1,000% fine. And that's the thing. I don't want people to feel like, oh, if I don't want president's team, I'm not important. Like, no, everybody's important for sure. But it's going to take a little bit more if you want a little bit more, right? So we got to start off with our results. What does our results look like? They got to be ridiculous. Like, you got to be walking around like kaplow, right? Like, your results got to speak for yourself. 1. So if you haven't gotten new results, it's time, period. Like, yo, it's March. Spring is around the corner and summer is right there. How will you be looking this year? Will you be excited about your results, or will you be talking about next year, right? You have the opportunity now. I'm telling you guys today, you have the opportunity now to get right for summer. You have the opportunity now to be that person for your community for summer, right? And not only summer, for life, but you guys know how the public is. Oh, summer 19, I got to get right. I'm going to Miami. I'm going to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be ripped up, whatever, right? You got to be that person first before they come to you about getting ripped, or before they come at you about having a flat tummy. Results got to be popping, right? So use more products, higher personal consumption, right? Trying new things, right? Increasing your workout intensity, right? And then on the flip side of that, what's your business going to look like? Are you going to be a beast in the business on the way to being a beast physically, right? You got to be doing so well in Herbalife as far as making so much money that there's nothing that people can say to you, right? Now, you may not necessarily be making 5 bands a month by summertime, but don't discredit that $750 that you made, right? Right now, let me ask you guys a question right now. If you guys had a bill that was dropped on your doorstep at 7:55 p.m. Pacific time, or 8 o'clock or 8:55 Arizona time, or 10:55 or 10:56 East Coast time, right? If you had a bill that was dropped on your door right now for $750, would you guys be able to pay it? 1, you don't have to answer the question but 1, would you be able to pay the bill for $750 if you had to pay it right now? There is no nothing. You pay that shit right now. Or 2, would it hurt you bad to pay it? Would it hurt you? Right? That's the thing that I'm realizing, or not that I'm realizing, that you guys got to realize, is that even though $750 isn't necessarily $5,000 to some people, because we know about presidency members making X amount of money, right? $750 to somebody is life-changing. That's the part that you guys got to understand. $750 is life-changing to somebody right now. Shit, I tell you what, you drop $750 on me, my life has changed a little bit. Right now, today, at this very moment. Who can use an extra $750 right now? Shit. You know what I do with $750 right now? Psst. What? So like I'm saying, if you made $750 extra this month by helping somebody, don't discredit that and say, I didn't make a huge amount of money and I'm not necessarily fired up about it. Like, dog, $750 is a lot. $500 is a lot. $300 is a lot. $200 is a lot. $100 is a lot when you don't have it. I promise. $100 might not be a lot right now. You like, $100, whatever, right? Whatever, play money, whatever, right? I'm telling you, if you needed $100 and it wasn't available to you, dog, that's a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? So don't discredit, don't feel bad, don't think that it's not good that you made this amount of money helping somebody out last month, right? You need to be able to express saying, hey, I made $500 extra last month by helping 3 people get started on a nutrition plan around my full-time job, around my schedule, right? That's the thing. I remember listening at an event. I don't remember where I was at, but $500 a month every year, or $500 every month for a year is $6,000, right? $6,000 is a life-changing amount of money over a year's time to have somebody go from maybe possibly breaking up their marriage or saving their marriage, right? Keeping their family together or not keeping their family together. Being able to put a down payment on a house or not being able to put a down payment on a house. $6,000 over the year, $500 a month. If you can show somebody how to make $500 a month, you can change that person's life forever. And that's the power of what we have inside of Herbalife and you as a distributor. So when you out there talking to people, right? So this is the thing, this is the mindset that I carry, right? When I'm out there doing contacts or when I'm out there actually going out there face to face with people, I'm not ashamed of talking to people about what I do because I understand about what it's done for me. And I understand that, I'm very confident that this can help change your life if you allow it to, whether it be physically, health-wise, or financial, business-wise, or both. But if not, it's cool. I'm going to go talk to the next person because I'm giving you a gift. I'm trying to help you out. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to make sure your well-being is a little bit better. Obviously, with mine, building my organization. But I'm trying to help you out, bro. I'm trying to help you out, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't think that, you know what I mean? Don't, like I'm saying, I'm keep stressing it. Don't discredit what we do, even if it's on the lower scale or on the higher scale, right? Does that make sense? All right, cool. So LDW is coming up, guys. And so at the end of the day, it's in San Francisco. I want you guys to come. I don't know if Vegas is having an LDW. Takesha, I haven't looked it up. Aaliyah, I know New York is having the LDW for sure. So if you're not in the immediate area of the West Coast, let's all try to get to the same LDW to create a, an impact to, so we can all get together. You know what I'm saying? Because after LDW, we starting to count down to extravaganza, right? So, yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. So March STS is already done for us, for those who went to this one. LA's is still coming up, I know. And then LA LDW is sometime in April. And then after that, STS, what is that? April, May, June. Yeah, STS extravaganza. So you guys got to start thinking about extravaganza, getting your plane tickets and everything like that. We'll start talking about it in more depth coming up next month. But you guys got to get in the mindset of like, we're about to go to New Orleans and it's time to start getting ready for that. Flights, coming up with the other $85, which is, coming up with this. Like I'm saying, $85, right? Like I say, if you don't have $85, it's a lot if you don't have it, right? But obviously the other half of the $85 for the place that we rented out and continuously sponsoring more people and getting them involved so we can create the second house and the third house for our goal of 50 people going to extravaganza, right? So other than that, out of anything that was said tonight, is there any questions that you guys have for me? All questions is good questions, or are we all good? Or is there anything unclear about anything, right? Go ahead and ask if you guys have it, because nothing is a dumb question, but there are lazy questions.
Can you explain the challenge that's going on?
Yes. So we have a challenge going on. Thank you. So we have a challenge going on next Monday, right? Yes, next Monday, the 11th. And the challenge goes from March 11th until April 10th, 30-day challenge. So how we're doing it is that you're entering one of three ways. The first way is buying a full retail program. So somebody can purchase the products from you at full retail price and they can enter themselves or you can enter them into the challenge. The second way is that they become a preferred member and order products as a preferred member. That's the second way that they can enter in, or they can pay a total of $50. And with that $50, they can get, we was following RC's thing where it was a shake and, a tea and liftoff. But that was actually Marisol. She actually said a good point to me, whatever day she had said it. She was like, can I get them a 3-day trial and liftoff? And I'm like, you're a genius. You know what I'm saying? So she's doing that. For the person that says, I want to pay $50, she's giving them a 3-day trial and a box of liftoff, which pretty much equals out to $50. So that's also another way that you can do it. So it's one of those three ways. The first place winner will receive $200 credit as far as shoes, Nike shoes. So that's between you and the person that wins, if that's your person. So they can either buy one pair of shoes, or you can either get them one pair of shoes worth $200, or you can get them however many shoes, like cheaper value shoes within the $200, whatever, whatever, right? But it's $200 worth of shoes. And I believe it is $100 credit with Herbalife. Is that what we're doing? $100 cash? Is that what it is?
$50 credit Herbalife.
$50 credit with Herbalife. Okay, cool. So you get $200 worth of credit for shoes, Nike shoes or whatever shoes. They don't got to be Nike. And $50 credit for Herbalife. So basically whatever product they want to choose for $50. And then the second place winner will receive cash. The third place winner will also receive cash. That's it. And it's between March 11th and April 10th. So for all the coaches that are participating, right? If you're participating in this challenge, we pay Amanda. She's on my left side on the screen. I don't know where she at compared to y'all, but we'll pay Amanda $50 up front, right? So if you're a coach and you're in the challenge, you'll pay $50 to Amanda up front via PayPal or Venmo, whatever, right? And then at that point, you can go get people to enter into the challenge, whether it be one of the three ways that they enter, right? The total pot was $450 as of the people that said that they would do it. Everybody just gotta send their money to Amanda. So I'll make that a point tonight to say, yo, send your money to her by Friday coming up, and then boom, you'll enter into the challenge. Then you go get as many people as possible to enter into the challenge with you. So for this week, right, that should be one of your goals, to talk to as many people to get into the challenge as possible between Monday and Monday to enter in. Also set your goals for the month, post your goals. So, okay, awesome. This is what we're going to do. And I know we over time. Uno momento, please. Uno momento. So, obviously we're going to talk to as many people as we can about the challenge. Make sure we do that. That's obviously what we're going to do. Also, inside of the chat after the call, post your personal goals inside of the chat for the month. And let's hold each other accountable to those goals going into April LDW. So we go into LDW with fire and come out with fire going into extravaganza, because this is the thing. It's a 90-day plan from LDW until extravaganza, 90 days. A lot of shit can happen in 90 days if we're consistent with it. So talk to many people about the challenge. Post your goals for the month in the challenge. I'll also post those programs that I was sending, that I was talking about earlier. I'll post those. And, we're going to go from there. That's pretty much it. Set your goals for the week, right? Not just broad goals for the month. So if your goal is, like RC said, if your goal is 2,500 for the month, what does that equal out to in the first week, right, as far as volume? So
630 something volume points a week.
Whatever it is, break it down, right? Break it down so you can physically see that you're on pace going throughout the week, right? And then we'll also check in next week about how we're doing on that. Other than that, is there any questions that anybody has for me? All questions are good questions, or no? Going once, going twice. X-nay. Awesome. Call will be posted in the chat. Make sure you post your goals. Call me if you need me. If you need me to talk to somebody, if you want to set up a Zoom call with somebody or whoever, it's good. Let's do it. Other than that, I'm going to see y'all. Let's get it. March is going to beat February. Let's go.